Iran. He was responding to comments made from them, and he's going to continue to focus on the safety and security of American people.
What would it take to have direct negotiations between the President and President Rouhani?
I'm not going to get into specifics and certainly not negotiate with the press. That would be a determination that the President would make on what that looks like. But the ultimate goal and the focus of the President is making sure that we keep nuclear weapons out of their hands and that we focus on the protection of Americans.
Sarah, the President tweeted yesterday that Russia's election interference was all a big hoax. Those are the words he used. But last week he said he had full faith in the U.S. intelligence agencies. So does he believe the interference was a big hoax, or does he have faith in the intelligence agencies that have concluded definitively the other way, that Russia did in fact?
As the President has said many times and stated over and over again, as have I, as a number of other administration officials, we maintain that Russia interfered in the elections. The President, however, very much so, and has repeatedly, as again have the rest of us, that his campaign colluding in that process is a total hoax, and we still hold strong to that.
The tweet suggested overall that it was a hoax, though.
The President is referencing the collusion component. Once again, the President has faith in the intelligence that suggests and maintain that Russia was involved in the elections. However, it's also important that that same information concludes that it had no impact on the election, and that the President, again, would like to repeat that there was no collusion. John?
Thank you, Sarah. Sort of following up on that question, the President has very forcefully spoken out against Iran. He's very forcefully spoken out against North Korea. He has said that he will forcefully speak out against any threat to the United States. Russian election interference is a threat to our democracy. Why will he not forcefully denounce that?
The President has been incredibly tough on Russia. He's brought it up directly to him in person every single time that they have met. He has put unprecedented sanctions and been extremely tough on Russia across a number of fronts, which we've addressed here many times before. Frankly, I'm not sure why that is so hard for the media to write about. We've repeated it time and time again. The policy that the President has been since day one in office has been extremely tough on Russia, probably more so than with any other country. John?
Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Senator Rand Paul today made a strong attempt to vitiate the credibility of former CIA Director John Brennan, saying that he's, and I quote, monetizing his security clearance and that it should be removed from him. He even called on the President to do this. Will the President consider Senator Paul's suggestion and call for the removal of former Director Brennan's security clearance?
Not only is the President looking to take away Brennan's security clearance, he's also looking into the clearances of Comey, Clapper, Hayden, Rice, and McCabe. The President is exploring the mechanisms to remove security clearance because they've politicized and in some cases monetized their public service and security clearances. Making baseless accusations of improper contact with Russia or being influenced by Russia against the President is extremely inappropriate, and the fact that people with security clearances are making these baseless charges provides inappropriate legitimacy to accusations with zero evidence.
Follow-up question to Steve first. When the President pulled out of the JCPOA, he did not reveal an alternate plan to address Iran's nuclear ambitions. He seemed to bank on economic sanctions being enough to get them back to the table. Is that still his plan B?
Look, as we have said, the President's #1 goal is to make sure Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon. We have similar and shared interests with our European allies. We're continuing to have discussions with them, and when we have specifics on that front, we'll let you know.
About Russia, Sarah. Sarah, my question was a follow-up, but my question about Russia is that, President Trump continues to air his grievances about the coverage of his meeting with Vladimir Putin.
Because you guys continue to obsessively cover it.
But we can't really, because it's been 7 days. We have not received a readout. We have not received any specific details about agreements that were reached, whether formally or verbally. So when can we expect that? And by the way,
the only specific agreement that was made was that the two national security teams from both the United States and Russia would continue at a working level these discussions. I can tell you that Ambassador Bolton plans to have a meeting, a follow-up with his counterpart from Russia next month, in addition to meetings with other European allies to further those discussions, and we'll keep you posted when we have specific details on what that meeting looks like.
Russia says.
Sarah, so does President Trump plan on ordering to move any carriers or additional military resources to the region should Iran continue to pose the threat that he alluded to in his tweet? And I also have a follow-up.
I don't have any specific announcements on that at this
Just a
point.
follow-up then, Secretary of State Pompeo yesterday talked a lot about corruption and human rights abuses in Iran. Why is he zeroing in, why is the administration zeroing in on Iran when a number of other states are guilty of the same transgressions, including Russia, which we are now warming up to?
Again, we've had tough conversations with Russia. We've been tough on them with our policy. As I stated this morning, we can be tough on more than one country at a time, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Sarah. Thanks, Sarah. Could you explain a little bit of the threshold that the president has for taking away former official security clearance? Is it his position then that any former Obama administration official who holds clearance and just make political statements about him should have their clearance revoked? Or is it just limited to the names right now that you read?
As of right now, we are exploring the mechanism on those specific names. I'll keep you posted when there's further details. John?
Thanks a lot, Sarah. The language the president used in the tweet that he sent out last night was very similar to the language he used last August in New Jersey when he spoke of fire and fury being rained down on North Korea. And of course that led to a one-on-one meeting the president ultimately had with Kim Jong-un. Is the president open to diplomacy with Iran, meeting perhaps one-on-one with President Rouhani?
I'm not going to negotiate what the specifics that the president or the administration will be looking at. Again, our goal is to stop Iran from nuclear weapons, and we'll keep you